More Battle Royales are on the way, and Apex Legends reveals its Battle Pass. All that and more. I'm Ethos, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First off in the news this week, Apex Legends' first Battle Pass has arrived. The Season 1 Battle Pass, titled Wild Frontier, is being offered solo or as a part of a bundle that unlocks the player's next 25 levels instantly. Just keep in mind those 25 levels are going to cost you. The basic Battle Pass runs 950 Apex coins, while the bundle costs 2,800 Apex coins. Purchasing either version will automatically unlock the Lifeline Revolutionary skin, the Wraith Survivor skin, and the Mirage Outlaw skin. And don't worry, even if you don't purchase the Battle Pass, you can still get some goodies for participating in Season 1. These include a Wild Frontiers Legend skin, 5 Apex packs, and 18 Wild Frontier stat trackers. Also of note in this update is the apparent introduction of Octane, the new character data mined a while back. He's not specifically mentioned in this announcement, but there is in fact an image of him. To purchase the Battle Pass, all you'll need to do is just simply go to the in-game store. Okay, so Little Orbit isn't calling it a Battle Royale, but APB Reloaded is getting something at least inspired by the genre. The developer announced what they are calling Riot Mode today. It's described as a new team-based collapsing map mode. Yeah, that sounds pretty BR-like to me. The new mode, which will launch first on PC, divides players into teams of 4. It takes place in San Paro, with blocks being shut down as they play. At the end, only one team will be left standing. So there you have it. Just in case you haven't had enough Battle Royale on your plate already, there's one more on the way. Oh, and if that doesn't tickle your fancy, another MMORPG has added a Battle Royale mode. I know, I'm sounding like a broken record, but whatever, dude. Okay, anyways, Blade & Soul has released its 20-player PvP Battle Royale mode, Shackle Isles, last week on March the 13th as a part of its Legacy of the Hongmoon Clan event. You'll need at least level 55 to participate, and the battles take place just 5 times daily. You'll have to contend not only with other players, but with random boss spawns and the Dark Chi corruption taking the place of the ubiquitous wall of green gas or red or whatever. So make sure you pick up various boosts that will be sprinkled around the battlefield. The developers of World of War stuff, the games, announced a partnership with Ukrainian developers FragLab. Together, the company plans to develop a free-to-play next-gen shooter using Amazon's web service project, Amazon GameLift server hosting, and Amazon Lumberyard game engine. The partnership brings Wargaming.net together with a new studio comprised of developers that previously worked on the Crysis franchise, Battlefield 2, and Warface. The developer believes the two companies' combined knowledge, as well as the solutions provided by Amazon Game Tech, will allow them to create the best possible free-to-play shooter. Unfortunately, the companies haven't provided any information on the game itself, but the announcement does promise more information later this year. And finally, for something very strange, just to set things up, as I'm sure most of you already know, North Korea and South Korea are technically still at war with each other, and as a result, South Korea men are obligated to spend 2 years in military service. Don't worry, I'm getting somewhere with this. Now, this requirement can be waived if one has a religious or personal objection to war, violence, or simply holding a weapon. Like, let's say you're a pacifist, thus this can exempt one from military service. But there were a couple of men who professed being pacifists that were released from jail last month following a decision by a Korean Supreme Court. Now you might be saying, what the hell does any of this have to do with video games? Okay, so here's the crazy thing. Yonhap News Agency was reporting that 11 of these objectors were having their gaming history examined to determine if they regularly partook in violent video games, thus nullifying their stated personal beliefs and potentially landing them back in prison for dodging their state-mandated military service. 8 games were specifically targeted as being violent by the Ulsan prosecutor's office and excluding their players from military service exemption via reasons of pacifism. These games that they played include PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Sudden Attack, Special Forces, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Overwatch, Diablo, League of Legends, and StarCraft. Now, an official from the prosecutor's office stated that they don't intend to take measures against people who've played such games, let's just say, once or twice, but if the objectors are found to have violent traits based on the length and the number of times they've been playing these said games, it can be used as evidence to dismiss their claims of being pacifists. The government's actions are unsurprisingly being challenged by a number of opposing viewpoints. First, there's the issue of privacy that comes into digging into people's gaming history, which might be difficult to obtain as gaming firms only save players' data for around 6 months. There's also the all too often talked about in other countries supposed link about people playing violent video games and then having a desire to commit those acts of violence in real life. Even if one was to believe that that sort of thing was true, some of the games selected for scrutiny seem very questionable. Realistic shooters like Call of Duty or PUBG, I guess, are kind of understandable, but League of Legends and StarCraft? That just seems absolutely ridiculous. Even if we take those games' cartoonish semi-violence seriously, it's still difficult to prove that playing such games represent a deviation from one's personal beliefs. Most of us are against violence on some basic level, but it doesn't mean we won't play games where killing is commonplace. It seems unlikely that these cases will go anywhere, and that's good news for gamers in any country, and more specifically in Korea. I mean, come on, it seems like we're long past the days when trials by fire would be commonplace, so let's not have trials by playing video games. Keeping on that previous topic, what do you guys think about the argument of being a pacifist yet playing violent video games? Does it in some way make you a hypocrite? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's it for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out mmobomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name is Ethos, and I'll catch you guys next week.